What's going on, guys? My name is Keegan, and this channel is dedicated to how you can become the best, healthiest version of yourself for decades and years to come. My own cognitive abilities has always been a really shining point for me. It's something that I have a tremendous amount of fear going into old age. The thought of losing it is terrifying. According to the Alzheimer's Association, 1 in 3 seniors dies with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. At only the age of 45, women have a 1 in 5 chance, and men have a 1 in 10 chance of getting diagnosed again with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Essentially, that means it's nearly impossible to avoid these risks, at least with what we've been doing thus far. To live my full life, I need to come up with a solution to help decrease the risks and harm associated with cognitive decline. So, what is something that we can do to help decrease these risks? Unfortunately, there's a very large genetic component. If someone else in your family has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, there is a nearly 30% chance that you will also be diagnosed with that compared to someone who does not have it. I am very fortunate. My grandmother's 101 and she's still incredibly mentally sharp, and I have to be careful what I tell her because she's going to remember forever and constantly bring it up. Once you've been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, unfortunately, there is no cure at this point. There's no pharmaceutical cure, and it's merely just treating the symptoms of memory loss and making sure you're as comfortable as possible. As with everything that I talk about, we need to start thinking about preemptive approaches. I am a personal trainer and a coach. All of the things that I say is from the perspective of a personal trainer and coach. This is not medical advice. If you are at risk of dementia or Alzheimer's or memory loss, or you already have been diagnosed, make sure you work with a doctor to help come up with a treatment plan for you. If you want to live the most fulfilling, best life for decades to come, make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you can stay up to date on every video. One of the best things that you can do to improve your cognitive ability, decrease the risks associated with losing your mental capacity, is through exercise. I may sound like a broken record at this point, but it's something that I truly believe in and something that the research and the science has backed up. Today we'll discuss how exercise specifically can help increase your cognitive abilities, your mental capacity, and decrease the risks associated with developing these long-term diseases. Now, nutrition is also a vital part of maintaining cognitive balance. It's just not going to be the focus of today's video. Exercise is the foundation of everything that I preach and talk about with my clients. Side note, cardiovascular training and strength training are both grouped into exercise. So when I say exercise, I mean both of them, not one or the other exclusively. You may be asking yourself, so how does exercise actually help cognitive ability and the potential decline of cognition? Well, exercise helps increase something called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's not really important, but essentially BDNF has a lot of benefits: neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. These are really vital as we age. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to adapt to new stimulus, improving our abilities to learn new skills and become more resilient. Neurogenesis is the creation of new neurons or brain cells. This is going to help promote the foundations of memory. We need to be building new neurons to help create memories and help keep those memories. I know you've heard, "I forgot my keys, I must be getting old," if not said that yourself. And yes, there is a large component of memory loss as we age. It's become a cultural expectation that memory decreases as we age. Now, not every time you forget your keys or you forget something are you going to start going through memory loss. More often than not, it's just a factor of you being distracted, something else going on in your brain, and that's okay. That's just a normal point of life. There's plenty of 20-year-olds that do that, and they're not going through memory loss. It's also important to know that not all adults who have memory loss are going to be diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's. Exercise is incredibly dynamic, and that's why it also helps promote memory. One of the best ways to keep memory as we age is doing new things and developing new skills and challenging our brain. Exercise is also incredibly dynamic, and that's why it's so good for our memory and our longevity. It gives us the opportunity to do different things in different ways to challenge the brain, to challenge our brain's communication with the rest of our body. Having this constant challenge and diversity of movement is vital for retaining and improving memory. There are so many different variations with exercise, with movements. There's nearly an endless supplies of movements and things that you can do to challenge your brain. Even if you've been working out for decades, there's still going to be these little things that you can learn, or you can go back and do things that you haven't done in a while. Exercise goes even further than this. Some researchers call dementia and Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes because it has been linked to insulin resistance. Now, there is more research that needs to be done to fully understand why this is and how they're related. One thing that's not debated, both methods of exercise, cardiovascular training, and strength training have very significant benefits for improving our insulin sensitivity. Now, with some researchers believing that insulin sensitivity is the leading cause of dementia and memory loss, I'm not willing to personally take that risk, and I'm going to do everything I can to help maintain my insulin sensitivity, not only for memory, but also for all the other health benefits associated with that. So, what should your exercise look like for memory improvements? Now, I like to take a very balanced approach that's going to help improve a lot of different things. So the way that I would approach this is include 1 to 2 high-intensity cardio sessions, 2 to 3 low-intensity cardio sessions, 2 to 3 strength training sessions, and 2 to 3 balance sessions. Now, these don't all have to be individual sessions. I know that that would be a lot over the week. Typically, my balance and my strength training are included on the same day, and then with cardio, you can do some low intensity cardio prior to doing high intensity stuff, and that can be part of one of your days. High intensity cardio over the course of about 40 has been shown to have a 3-fold increase of BDNF, or brain derived nootropic factor, for over a 24-hour period. Balance is incredibly important. When we age, we need to be able to stay upright and confident with our ability to move freely about. If we're falling more often or unstable, potentially increase the risks of injuries and decrease your ability to do any of the other things. You have to stay healthy in order to be healthy. Now I'm going to give you really good high intensity cardio sessions. Now it's important to note that these can be done on any cardio equipment. Just not do them with weights involved like HIIT workouts. I think focus on strength when you're training strength, and you should focus on cardio when you're training cardio. Personally, I like indoor cycling. It's just something that I can push myself the most at, and I'm getting the most out of the work. The first one is high intensity intervals. You should warm up 15 to 20 minutes. You're going to do 45 seconds of all out, about 95% of your maximum heart rate. So it's going to feel like you're going as hard as you can. Then you're going to rest for about 15 seconds, and you're going to repeat that 5 to 10 times, and then cool down for another 10 minutes. The second cardio interval is going to be a 4x4 interval. This one's a lot more difficult, but I think overall get a little bit more value out of it for your time. The second one is going to be 4x4 intervals. This is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I think for your time commitment, it's going to be valuable and you're going to get more out of it. How you're going to do this is warm up 15 to 20 minutes. Then it's going to be 4 minutes at as high of a heart rate you can manage for that 4 minutes. Then you're going to rest 4 minutes, and that could be walking or just casually doing whatever you're doing for another 4 minutes. And then you're going to do that and repeat that another 4 times. That's 4x4 interval. Low intensity cardio sessions are a lot simpler. It could be something as going for a hike, going for a brisk walk. You do want this to be kind of challenging, and it should be pretty difficult to hold a conversation and get out of breath while doing that. And typically these sessions are going to be 30 minutes. For a strength training session where you're working 2 to 3 times per week, ideally you would be training full body each of those days. This full body workout session should be consistent 4 to 6 weeks, meaning you should be doing about the same exercises each week for 4 to 6 weeks. After that point, adjust it and start to learn new exercises. You just want that consistency to really nail in each specific exercise and make progress. With balance work, there are so many different possibilities. So instead of saying every specific way that you could balance, I'm going to talk you through the specific levers that I start to pull for my clients, kind of challenge them in different ways and to mix it up. The first lever that I pull is changing the surface. Is it going to be soft? Is it going to be hard? Is it going to be wobbly itself? Is it going to be slanted? These are different things that change the demands of the balance that can challenge. Next is changing your center of mass. It can come from having your arms spread out, having your arms in, your leg out, putting your leg in the to the Are your eyes open or closed? Having them closed makes all balancing drills a lot more difficult because it's taking our sensory feedbacks to keep ourselves balanced. And the last lever, introducing some form of movement. This could come from changing that you're balancing on. This could come from changing the center in some way while you're trying to maintain your balance. And I see a lot of other trainers using balance specific drills as they're also doing strength training. And again, that ties in with the cardio and strength training. I think you should focus on one thing at a time. Trying to add too many things in decreases the actual benefits you're getting out of each and every. You're also going to have a higher risk of injuries, balance, and lift heavy weights. So I like to err on caution and keep my clients safe. So hopefully you've realized exercise has a lot more benefits. Lean, building muscle, getting you to look good in the mirror. Also have a very direct benefit to our cognitive. Now, powered with the techniques and knowledge from today's video, you can go your own memory-based training protocol to keep you for years and decades to come. If you learned anything from today, make sure you share it with your family. I would greatly appreciate it. See you guys in the next video. Peace.